Man, y'all ready for it, man?
It's Maddie.
You know, we coming a little different on this one.
Shit.
We coming real different on this.
Just by saying you can't, you are literally telling yourself that you are powerless and you have no control over your life. Let's build and thrive, America. My name is Talisha, also known as Dr. T. I was the recipient of an honorary doctoral degree. I also have an MBA in accounting with a finance background. I'm a USMC vet, Semper Fi, hoorah, yeah, all that good stuff and trash. And also, I own a company for business consulting. Today, we're going to be discussing overcoming self-doubt and barriers. We're going to eliminate, close with, and destroy the word can't out of our vocabulary. And yes, I know it's locate, close with, and destroy. Not too much on me. You get the point. But I just wanted to discuss this topic today because you might be standing in your own path and you don't even know. Today, we're going to be talking about annihilating the word can't. And this topic is pretty important because what you say to yourself really truly matters. Literally, how you speak to yourself can change the trajectory of your life. First, the power of the mindset when achieving success. Literally, your mindset can be the difference in your success. If you're telling yourself you can't do it, then you're not going to do it. It's just as simple as that. Like, if you don't believe you can, you won't. A lot of times, I've had so many people tell me something that I couldn't do, and I didn't internalize it. I didn't think, oh my God, I can't do that. No, because that would be me internalizing their fears, their projections. They probably feel like they couldn't do it. A lot of times when people give you advice or they tell you things or they say what you can't do, it's really more so a reflection of how they feel about themselves, honestly. So I have a story, two stories. One where I was really discouraged and another where I was encouraged, and how different those storylines are. So the first story, about a time that I was discouraged, true story. I got sent to a corpus course in a division unit. And if you guys know anything about the military, division is the grunts. They're the ones that's really out there in the trenches, poo poo poo, putting bullets down range. So I got sent to one of those for a corpus course. It was my first corpus course ever. And corpus course is like leadership development with a lot of physical aspects that you have to do. So in this course, there was a lot of big burly men, over 6'2" and whatnot, and there was only one other female. So off the top, when I got into it, that was like my first time actually like interacting with, you know, a division unit and grunts and stuff. And the guy, he came out and he was just like, yeah, and today when we do these exercises, you're gonna need to pair up and you're gonna find a buddy. Now I'm looking around. At the time I was like $120, soaking wet. There's nobody in my weight class. And now we have an order where you can't really pick up people 10 pounds above you, and or 10 pounds above and 10 pounds below you is like the limit. If somebody weighs more than that, then you have to find somebody else to carry. Of course, in real combat situations, those type of things don't matter. You got to get your buddy home. I was looking around. There was nobody that was in my weight class. So I'm already kind of discouraged. Like, they're going to have us doing some crazy physical stuff, a lot of buddy work where we got to pick people up. And I'm looking at these 6'3" guys like, that. And the guy looks around and he's like, and everybody will have a partner and everybody will participate. And I'm like, dang, there's only one other girl and she was a bit overweight, and he already eliminated her because he was like, and we will be doing a weight check. And he looked right at her. So I was like, damn, I already know what time it was, and I was nervous. So I've never failed a PFT, and a PFT, in case you don't know, is one of our Marine Corps tests. So we have 2 Marine Corps tests every fiscal year, and the PFT is one of them. It's 3 miles, crunches, and now it's converted to pull-ups. I've never failed one of those in my career, so I wasn't really worried about it. But on this corporals course, they had us doing like stuff before we even started the PFT. So I'm already wore out, wore loose. And we're jogging to each event. Jogging, but like I said, these are big burly 6'3", 6'2" men. So their jog is my full-fledged. So by the time we start the course, I'm out of breath. Like, I'm already, you know, I'm winded. And then he started the timer and he was like, go. So we started our 3-mile run. Needless to say, I failed. But I kind of had the mindset that I was going to fail before we even started. Like, I was already telling myself, like, I don't think this is gonna be like, I was telling the dudes who I came in with, I was like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna, cause everybody added about 3 to 4 minutes to their runtime because of all the extra activity that we did in the beginning. But 3 to 4 minutes more on my runtime was a failing score. That's why you don't do the bare bone minimum. That's why you go above and beyond and excel the standard. Don't be like me. So anyways, that was the start of a real like downward spiral in my career, just mentally and everything like that. I was in a real mental funk. But I say that to say, I started out that course thinking that I was going to fail. Now, to tell you about a time where my mindset shifted. Years later, of course, I started taking like my personal growth and development a lot more serious. And I was just, believing in myself. I've had so many people tell me what I can't do. I was like, you know what? I got to show you something. So I decided I wanted to go for my master's degree, and I applied for the master's program. They had me on academic probation the moment I got in because I was Miss C's get degrees, but let me tell y'all something. C's do get degrees because I got my bachelor's degree, but C's do not get you into graduate school. So I walked in on academic probation, and they were like, look girl, we're not playing with you. To be quite frank, if you get 1 C, you're out. We're not playing. So I had to really be on my stuff. And I remember I created an image kind of like, I created a graphic design because I'm also a graphic designer. I do that in my consulting practice. I created a graphic where it was just like me putting all of these really outlandish goals I had for myself. And I mean, they were like up there. They were dream goals to me at the time. So it was like, oh, I'm going to get my PhD in forensic accounting. I'm going to make 6 figures. I'm going to do all of this. And at the time, I was nowhere near that. So that's why I say it was kind of outlandish. And I'm going to put the picture up here so you guys can see. I made that in 2021. I didn't graduate with my master's until 2023. But I wrote that and I kind of kept that positivity and positive mindset going. I ended up getting my master's degree, and in the same year I was nominated to receive my honorary doctoral degree as well in humanitarianism. So it didn't quite come like how I had wrote it down, but the fact of the matter is I wrote down my vision, and the vision I had for myself, I made it plain, and it came to fruition. And the way it happened was really unbelievable. I got 2 degrees like a month after each other. So that was crazy, but that's kind of the flip side of the coin. When you talk to yourself positively and you speak goals and ambition over your life versus when you tell yourself you can't do something. It's all the difference in your life. Okay, so next, techniques for overcoming obstacles and self-imposed limiting beliefs. I'm gonna be honest. These are things that helped me, and they sound cliche. And I will say this, when people were telling me, when I was like at my lowest point in my military career, I had a lot of people try to help me out and try to tell me these things, but it wasn't landing. Because something else about this game of life, you have to grow through it and grow with it. So I could tell you something and it's not going to hit because you're going to be like, what can I do with that? I can't do nothing with that. Baby, I need $100,000 right now. I can't do nothing with what you're telling me. You have to be able to grow in your mindset. You have to be able to go through life enough to be like, okay, this works for me and this doesn't. So these are things and techniques that works for me and has worked for me. The first, positive affirmations. You have to speak kindly to yourself. You have to. We have like 60,000 thoughts a day. Imagine. Now I don't know about y'all, but some of my thoughts are very intrusive. They're not the thoughts that I would want to even speak out loud. Because when there's a lot of power in the tongue, so you got to be careful with what you speak. But you have to speak kindly to yourself. It has to be positive. And I'm going to read to you guys positive affirmations that were sent to me by someone very special, a Dr. Tamika Rowe. Let me read them to you. The first one is, I am divinely called. And by the way, don't laugh at me. I need this to see, okay? Some of y'all might not be there yet in your life, but you will get there. I've had eyes that were not the best since the 2nd grade. But anyways, moving forward. I am divinely called, lavishly gifted, and fully equipped to fulfill God's purpose in my life. I'm reading this from my screensaver, by the way. By God's grace, I find my purpose. With His gifts, I discover my power. With His guidance, I fulfill His plan. I boldly declare I am chosen. I am confident. I am capable. I am competent in all God sets my hands to do. Number 4, I lack nothing. God has equipped me, anointed me, and empowered me for his divine mission. Number 5, I reject imposter syndrome, arrest insecurity, and embrace all that God has called me to be, and I will do what God has called me to do. Okay? So I've been telling that to myself, daily. But you can also do other positive affirmations. Whatever you need to tell yourself, if you got to look in the mirror and be like, I'm beautiful, I'm worthy, I'm gifted, I can do this, I can get through this situation, this is not the end of the world for me. Hey, your life will transform. I'm telling you. Right hand on, I'm telling you. I might tell you a few jokes, but I won't tell you a lie. Okay? Another one that works for me, speaking in the present tense, right? We have to ground ourselves in the present moment. I feel like a lot of times we're so busy thinking about that next move. We're so busy thinking about like the future and things that haven't even occurred yet. We're stressing over it. Ground yourself in the now. You know what I mean? Speak present tense. I am debt free. I own a thriving business consulting practice. I make $222,000 monthly. I have created generational wealth for my family. A lot of these things are true, okay? You have to speak it. Because once you start speaking it, you got to claim it, baby. Once you claim it, it's already yours. You've got to claim it. You've got to claim it. You've got to talk to yourself kindly. You've got to talk to yourself nicely. You've got to claim what's yours. You have to. The third thing that has worked for me, writing down your craziest goals, visions, and ambition. Nothing is too wild. Reach for the star, the moon, Mars. Reach for it because it's attainable. You've just got to figure out the steps to get there. So for me, the power of written clarity, there's nothing more powerful. Once you write it down and you can visualize it, then you can start to see what actionable steps can I take to get this accomplished. Like I said, these are techniques that have worked for me, and I'm sure that if they're applied, they can work for you. Triumph over adversity. One of the hardest things I've done in my life so far, or thus far, has been going through Paris Island Marine Corps boot camp training. That was a time. It was a time to be alive, truly. There was so many physical hurdles I had to overcome, but most importantly, there were so many mental hurdles I had to overcome. Literally, you do things that you would probably otherwise feel are impossible. And you get them done and you get them accomplished. I would love for you guys to apply some of this stuff in your daily lives. And I would love to hear stories about times that you have overcome adversity and triumphed over it. So just to recap, guys, today I just wanted to discuss annihilating the word can't completely out of your vocabulary. Any negative self-talk that you might be doing, eliminate that and switch it with some positive self-talk. I want to encourage you that the power of the mind is not a joke. You can move mountains if you decide to change your mindset. Just reframe your thinking more positively, and I assure you that more positive things will happen in your life. So do not cut yourself short by saying you can't, because you absolutely can't. Everybody has the same 24 hours. Now, not everybody has the same circumstance. That much is true. But nevertheless, we all have 24 hours in a day. A lot of people come from humble beginnings, but that doesn't mean that you can't acquire certain things along your journey and your path. You have to be able to put in the work and take the time out to work for everything that you wish to achieve. You can't just dream and expect for it to happen. It's never going to happen that way. You have to put in the work for something. You can't just wish to be rescued. You kind of got to put in the steps to rescue yourself, if that makes sense. Might not be what you want to hear, but it's the truth. And if it's not your truth, it's definitely my truth. I just want to thank you guys for watching and tuning in. And I just wanted to ask that if you found this video positive or helpful at all, I would like to ask you to like, share, subscribe, and comment. And leave your personal comments below on what you would like to hear about next, or your personal stories about how you've overcome adversity and triumphed over it. Let's build and thrive, America. See you next Sunday.
I got on my grind, I flex with the shirt. I feel like Vegeta using all the hurt. I'm using the pain to rep my new max. I'll hop in the gym and I'm going berserk.
Like sanity all in my jeans. I put in that grind for whatever's worth.
Pick it up.